For decades, we've seen signs and messages asking for families to become fostering families. Why is that so important? The reason is we are at a critical juncture where we have a shortage of families that are wanting to foster and a growing number of children who need foster care. It's a critical message with life-changing impact for the children and future-changing impact for the communities. I'd like to share a story with you, and I'm going to read the story so that I don't miss any important points. This story is about a child named Juju. Authorities rescued Juju a bit before midnight one Saturday. The details were sketchy, but the distinct chemical smell on her clothes and the incessant scratching of her head made it clear that she would need a good bath, a treatment for an infestation of lice, and some clean PJs before her sweet little face could be tucked into bed at night. The family that fostered and volunteered to love and care for Juju already had more children than they were supposed to have placed in their home. So as much as everyone would like to avoid one more transition, Juju would stay here only a little more than 3 weeks, until she could be moved to a more permanent place with a family who was just about to see one of their children get returned to their home. The family knew they would barely get to know this little 8-year-old with the angelic face, still tan from the summer sun, getting acclimated to her new school, when it would be time to move her and start the process all over again. Everyone had hoped the second move would be the last one. But after 10 months with her new fostering family, there was a set of 3 siblings that needed some help. Juju's fostering family was one of the few families willing to take all 3 siblings into their home. It was easier to place one child, Juju, than the 3 siblings. So, Juju packed her bag and started the process of finding a new home all over again. This is what happens when communities don't have enough fostering families. Many families have responded to the invitation to bring in, love, and care for children in our community. But why is there still such great a need? Why such support for families who choose to love and care for our most vulnerable in our community? Well, there are several reasons for this. One, the number of children needing care is growing. This is not a number that reduces every year. In fact, just the opposite. This number grows year after year. Also, getting acclimated to bringing children into your home is not the easiest thing to do. It takes an effect on families physically, emotionally, financially, and in many other ways. Because of these challenges, these are some scary numbers to share. 50% of families that choose to foster stop fostering within the first year. That number increases to 70% of families that quit fostering by their second year. What happens? We know the story of Juju. It means that children get moved around from home to home, transitioning over and over again, sometimes even outside of their school, with their friends, in a very unfamiliar place. In the 8 southwestern Indiana counties that the Isaiah 117 project serves, this leaves us with a 7-to-1 ratio of children needing care and fostering families who are willing to care for them. Letting this go unaddressed is no longer an option. If we are to give our children the best opportunity, we can do better. Everything that we do at the Isaiah 117 project is focused on surrounding support for those families that choose to foster and nurturing and caring for the families and the children so that they have the best possible outcome. By working alongside of us at the Isaiah 117 project, you and members of our community here in southwestern Indiana make sure that our children know that they are seen, they are loved, that they are heard, and that they are valued.
In 2017, our little family had a dream to give 30 bags of hope each year that would be filled with clothes and supplies for children in transition to foster care. We knew from personal experience that so often children come from situations with nothing but the clothes on their back, and many times even those are not in condition to be helpful. From this small dream came the Isaiah 117 project, as so many of you have caught the vision and responded to the need, shared with your friends, family, and work associates, and they have also caught the vision and became part of the answer. To date, we have packed more than 8,500 bags of hope for children in transition to foster care. This stark ratio of children in need to available foster families has been a call to action for us as we move into our 5th year of giving hope. Fostering families are the key to helping children see their potential as greater than their circumstances. Fortifying Fostering Families, known as F3, is supporting families that are entering the fostering system and helping them have what they need to serve for many years. I want to be real with you. Foster care is hard. But loving kids that come from hard places is not hard. We know that there's been challenging times for all families like yours across the area because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We know especially for families that are fostering, those challenges have been multiplied. We know that families that once had support systems to help them in their fostering journey, well, those support systems have broken down. We know that kids are home from school more. We know that there's lots of reasons that have made fostering even more challenging in the last 2 years. But the Isaiah 117 project has partnered with the Welborn Baptist Foundation, churches all across the region, businesses, and people just like you to bring hope to fostering families and tell them that they are loved, seen, heard, and valued during this journey. We hope that that message will transfer to the kids in their care and give them a direction for the future that tells them that the circumstances that they live in are by no fault of their own, and that there's a whole community standing beside them to help make a difference in their lives. So I want to invite you to listen to Brittany, our Fostering Families team coordinator, to tell you more about how the circles of support in a community can change the life of every child and help us to serve fostering families.
At the Isaiah 117 project, we believe that when fostering families are surrounded by wraparound teams such as family, friends, the community, and other fostering parents, we will increase the possibility for better long-term outcomes for children in care and for overall retention of fostering families. As part of the F3 program, we believe there is an opportunity to provide emotional, spiritual, educational, and physical support. The goal is to alleviate the common stressors of fostering through meals, respite, and providing connections to resources through existing community partners. While this won't solve all issues, it does go a long way in providing the best care for children from vulnerable places and retaining families who volunteer to love them. The F3 program was developed during the 2020 COVID pandemic in response to food insecurities among fostering families. Now, the F3 program is being expanded to provide intimate support for fostering families in their 1st to 3rd year service when they are most vulnerable to burnout due to stressors, challenges, and barriers to a positive fostering experience. Its goal is to improve retention rates for new fostering families by increasing awareness of the needs and providing avenues for communities to supply those needs, thereby creating an overall sense of community support for fostering families and increasing the available fostering families for the counties served by the program in southwestern Indiana. Children in need have the best outcomes in fostering families, not institutions. Our region has too few fostering families. Additionally, putting a child in a temporary home setting only to move them a few times before a permanent placement can be made increases the trauma of the transition. The southwestern region suffers from the challenges of a ratio of 7-to-1 children in need to the fostering families available to serve them. The challenges of being a fostering family are great. Approximately 50% of families quit in the first year of service, and nearly 70% are gone by the end of the second year. Intentional support has proven to improve retention rates, with 98% of supported families continuing to serve. Even if you do not feel called to serve as a fostering family, you can still make a great impact. We are partnering with local businesses and restaurants to provide meals and other resources needed to help support fostering families. Furthermore, an important part of supporting our F3 families is through care communities and local churches who come alongside the fostering family to help provide meals, complete everyday chores and tasks, and overall provide an additional layer of support. The F3 program relies greatly on the support of our communities and on volunteers that have a heart for others and serving their community.
When we begin to change the culture of foster care, when we begin to serve and value our fostering families, we have the potential to completely shift the outcomes for kids involved in the foster care system. We believe empowered communities and families take up the cause of the fatherless by valuing every child needing foster care. We believe by providing awareness, advocacy, training, and ways for individuals, communities, and churches to deeply engage with our fostering community, we can begin to make a shift in the current culture of the way foster care is seen and practiced in our region. We especially believe by creating opportunities for the local church to deeply engage, this will truly become transformative. We hope to see that the percentage of fostering families report a shift in the way they feel, that they actually feel valued and supported. We hope to see that the percentage of fostering families report that they have a connection with a church and that they have an increase in the knowledge of resources available to them.
My husband and I chose to do foster care because we were unable to have children of our own, and we were going to do adoption, but the more we looked into adoption and pursued that, it became very challenging. So Marcia and her husband had attended church with us, and when we had been looking for a church for one of our friends, we actually went on a day that the Isaiah 117 Project was speaking there, and we hadn't told anybody that we had considered fostering, and we were like, man, that girl looks so familiar, and we want to do more to help. If we can't foster yet, how can we help? So then we started volunteering with some of the concerts and fundraisers that they were having, and then we've now kind of recruited the rest of our family to help out too. So we just all kind of help whenever we can and whatever's available. And we've been doing that for several years before fostering. And now it's, I get to see the different side of it on the receiving end, which is harder to receive than it is to give, but it's been a huge blessing doing that. It has helped us by meals being donated to us. Being a foster parent is challenging with the amount of time you have to give kiddos, and not having to worry about cooking a meal is something that's very nice to do, because a lot of them need the extra educational times and your life just kind of gets chaotic. We also have had meals donated to us in box forms, like food pantry boxes, which has been helpful to not have to go to the grocery store in the cold weather or with kids. And some of them were not feeling good too, and just not having to take the kids out to the grocery store is a amazing blessing that most moms can probably appreciate. So other than the extreme need for foster families, as a foster parent, we are given some information that is helpful, but when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, these kids have not had a normal life. So school and education Most of them are going to need tutors, and having someone that they can reach out to and bond with so they don't feel worse about that is extremely important. Having families set up to assist in childcare is very important as well. I know we've come across a few days where it was kind of an emergency. I need somebody, and the people that I had available on our sheets were unavailable. So then you're just kind of scrambling, or you have to cancel everything. And just the support for the kiddos and the families involved too is still in great need. Even if it's just how are you doing? Can I hold you? Can I pray for you? Anything like that is extremely helpful and a blessing for us. The care community would give us an opportunity to possibly do that and spend time with each other to keep us strong and healthy for these kids.
Well, the next question is, how can I help? The first thing is go to our website at the Isaiah117project.org. There you'll find several ways that you can become involved. Some of those are very simple as, provide a donation drive, whether it's donations of items or donations of funds. We are always open and looking for help in supporting our fostering families and the children. You can have a pizza and pajama party where each person that comes to the party can bring a pair of pajamas. One of the easiest ways is to collect gift cards, whether that be for restaurants for the family so that they don't have to cook every night, whether it is for clothing to help support the financial burden, or also for special events and opportunities for the children, whether they be bonding experiences for the family, such as zoo gift cards or things like that, or maybe even just for the child to have an experience of taking a karate lesson or a dance class. There are ways to help even if you can't financially give or are unable to get out and volunteer. We have an intercessory prayer team, and we're always looking for members of the community to join us in praying for our families and our children. In this, our year of hope, we will be adding more resources and ways to serve on our website throughout the year. So please check back as we go through our year of hope, supporting our fostering families and making sure that the children of our Southwestern Indiana community feel loved, seen, heard, and valued.